who used to diagnose enslaved Africans with a disease called niggardry. You don't have to believe me. Do your own research. Now, Benjamin Rush said black people have a disease that turns their skin dark. And the darker their skin gets, the more useless their brain becomes. Wow. He told white people, don't rub up against black people or you could catch it too. He is the father of white psychiatry, and they love this cracker so much, his face is on the back of every DSM. But he wasn't alone. There was another psychiatrist out of New Orleans by the name of Dr. Cartwright, who used to diagnose runaway slaves with a psychological disease known as drapetomania, a disease called freedom. Any black person to whip the living hell out of the slave. What is your point, Dr. Umar? My point is ADHD is the new niggardry. And the learning disability is the new drapetomania. The white man comes up with diseases or any threat that black people pose to the white power structure. There's a book called The Politics of Schizophrenia. You should read it. Guess what the politics of schizophrenia was about?
What?
How in the 1960s and 70s, they would lock up members of the Black Liberation Army and the Black Panther Party, and they would diagnose them with psychosis. Why was the FBI locking up Black Panthers and Black guerrilla family members with psychosis? Because if you get committed to a mental health hospital, 302, involuntary mental health commitment to the hospital, you do not have a right to a speedy trial. If you get sent to the mental hospital, you do not have a right to an attorney. If you get sent to the mental health hospital, you do not have a right to a trial by jury. So the FBI said, instead of locking them up for robbing banks, because they didn't do that, instead of framing them for robbing gas stations, why don't we just say that they're mentally unhealthy and we're putting them in the hospital for their own good? Why is this relevant to all you in here? Because some of you in here are getting crazy checks, but you're not crazy. See, you can fool some of the people some of the time and all the people all the time once in a while, but you ain't gonna fool Dr. Umar none of the time. I want all my crazy check people to know something. That by virtue of you playing crazy to get $800 a month, they can take the children from you. By virtue of you being crazy for $800 a month, you're not allowed to carry a gun. Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? You better read the gun laws. Mentally ill people are not allowed to carry weapons. So now you can't defend you or your family because acting crazy for some government money was more important to you. Go ahead. You didn't know that if you have a marijuana card, you're not allowed to carry? Yes, if you got a medical marijuana card, you cannot carry. Yes! Don't do your research. They are systematically disarming black folks all throughout America because you're not paying attention and think you didn't know them. Listen to me when I tell you this. You can never use the white man's money to finance your delusion. Never. Go ahead. Now, I want to read you the diagnosis of ADHD. This is the actual diagnosis. That's why I read this book. Now, those of you who have my first book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, you have most of the definitions. I include some of them in the new book, Black Parent Activism. What is ADHD? Listen to this. I'm going to read the criteria. 6 or more of the following symptoms for at least 6 months. Fails to give close attention to detail. Has difficulty sustaining attention. Does not listen when spoken to. Does not follow through on instructions. is easily distracted, difficulty organizing tasks, is reluctant to engage in tasks that require mental effort, loses things necessary to get his work done, forgetful in daily activities, easily distracted. Does that sound like ADHD or just a regular boy? Let me keep on going. We're not done. Taps and fidgets with his hands and feet, leaves his seat when he's supposed to stay seated, runs or climbs when it's inappropriate. I'm reading to you the official ADHD diagnosis of the United States of America. This is what we use. Blurts out answers. How the hell is that a disease? Interrupts other people. Has difficulty waiting his turn. And the most ridiculous of them all, has difficulty playing quietly. What child plays quiet? I thought playing meant making some damn noise. But when black folks are revolutionaries, this book is a weapon of mass destruction. Psychology has never been your friend. Do you know it was the psychologist who came to America with the IQ test and used it as a weapon to stop black people from having kids or getting married? If your IQ score wasn't at a certain point, 38 states up until the Civil Rights Bill of 64 did not let you get married. And then white folks talk about black people who go see psychology. Yes, the black one. But you ain't got no business in front of no damn Neanderthals. If the white teacher can't teach your child in the class because they don't care about them, how much more does the white therapist not care about you? Go ahead. And then they don't tell you that anything you say in this therapy session that is potentially incriminating or threatening to the safety of you or your children, we can snitch on you. So I need you to know that even when you're with the therapist, it's not all confidential. I don't want y'all to know that. So y'all get around these white folks and get all comfortable because they're getting some nasty water. And let me just say this before I forget. Black men in Miami, if you're dating outside your race, I don't have no respect for you. I'm gonna say it again. The only relationship I will acknowledge is a black man and a black woman and a black woman and a black man. It is black family or no family at all. That's the rules now. That's the rules now. No excuses. No excuses. The snow bunny crisis is out of control.
It's about wealth transfer.
If the sister has an attitude in Miami, go get one from Orlando. If the sister in Florida got an attitude, go get her from Texas. If you can't find a queen in Texas, let's go to the New Orleans. If you can't find a good sister in the South, come on up to North Philadelphia. I got some sisters. Come to Brooklyn. Come to Jersey. You can go to Jamaica and get it. You can go to Haiti. You can go to Nigeria. You can go to South Africa. You can go to Canada, to the UK. Black women are the single largest human population in the world. So there's no such thing as you can't find what you need. So we have to admit that we have been taught to hate ourselves. And in that hate, we keep looking for excuses to justify the self-mutilation of the black family. And black women, you got to stop too. Because some of y'all out here, pale-faced penguins. And let me be clear. Listen. But see, what black women gotta understand is, the white woman is never gonna put you above his own. He's gonna go back to Betsy Sue and marry you. See, he's just using you right now for your minority business status. See, he's just using the black woman right now for your female gender loan grants. But once he finished using that black woman to build up his new white construction company, and once he finished using his so-called black wife to build that new restaurant chain, he's gonna go get him a white cave woman and drop you all right back in the street. So y'all keep on thinking these white men in love with shit, okay? Until he calls you a black bee when y'all having an argument like that. And black man, your white girlfriend call you the N-word when she gets so mad and she dropped that N-bomb. And you be like, I thought you loved me! I have nothing against the white woman. I'm loyal to the black woman. And in being loyal to the black woman, I cannot tolerate or accept interracial marriage because it brings nothing of benefit to our community. Now, for those of you who are mixed race children, I accept you as an African as long as you claim it and identify. I do not discriminate against our mixed race African children. They're still ours. But you have to accept it and identify. Don't come out here and be black at the Dr. Umar lecture. And then go home with your white Jewish grandparents and act like you don't see my ass in the supermarket. You can't be a half-African. See, that's the problem. We got Africans, and then we got half-Africans. We call them half-Africans. You African during the week and white on the weekend, use a damn half-African. We don't need no half-Africans. Brothers and sisters, I want to invite all y'all up to Wilmington, Delaware. We having a block party on Saturday, September 11th at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. I want y'all to come on up there. The school isn't done yet. We're still getting it together, but we don't want to wait no longer. So we're going to have a day just for all the people who stood by us and supported us these 7 years that we've been fundraising. So please try to make plans to bring you and your children, the whole family, up to the first annual Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy Family Fest on Saturday, 9/11. That is Ethiopian New Year, 9/11. We're going to have food, games, raffles, vendors, music, speakers, book bag giveaways, free t-shirts and FPHE paraphernalia. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. And if you're looking for a weekend to just get away and relax, come on up to Wilmington, Delaware. You might be up there 3 days. You might come to Philadelphia, and I'll give you the Philadelphia Underground Railroad tour. And then maybe we'll go down to Baltimore, and I'll do my Great Blacks and Wax Museum tour. And then get on over to the Harriet Tubman Bucktown tour. And then get you to the Frederick Douglass House and the Benjamin Banneker House. And maybe take a tour to Howard University and Cotton State University, Morgan State University, and Cheney and Lincoln, which are the oldest black HBCUs in the country, right outside of Philadelphia. So please mark your calendar. Saturday, September the 11th. Brothers and sisters, I want to start the wind downs because I want to take some questions before I start signing books, but I want to say this. The education of black children is the responsibility of the black people. If we put half as much energy into trying to force your state government to teach our kids by teaching them ourselves, the problem might be something. And don't tell me you can't do it, because black America spends what? $2 trillion every year. You're the richest group of Africans in the world. But I don't see a black Wall Street nowhere in America. I can find a Jewish community, I can find a Chinatown, I can find a little Italy, a little Mexico, a little India. I can't find a little Africa nowhere.
That little India, they destroyed it.
Why can't I go nowhere in these 50 states and find a bank, hospital, school, and supermarket owned by us? Because slavery and colonization did something to us, brothers and sisters. And you know what it did? It killed your natural God-given desire to want to rule your destiny. Have you noticed when Mexicans show up in Miami? Or Chinese show up in Miami? Or Arabs show up in Miami? The first thing they do is build. That's the first thing they do. They find some block in the ghetto that they can call what? Their own. And then they start building shops. They become self-sufficient in 5 years. You've been here 500 years and you still ain't self-sufficient. Go ahead. You love the white man more than he loves himself. And then we try to act like we gotta love the white folks. Yes, you are. When you get mad, you're not fighting to be free. You're fighting to be accepted. Validation. No. You don't want to be free. Freedom is responsibility. Freedom is accountability. You don't want that. You want white folks to treat you like that. That's why we can't get free. Because Negroes don't want freedom. When we burned down the cities during the police massacres, we wasn't burning them up because they wanted to control the city. We was burning them up because we don't understand why white folks still don't want us after we built their country for them. Post-traumatic slavery disease. Transforming black consciousness into European consciousness. Turning the Negro into a European robot that self-destructs on its own without being paid. The greatest creation of the 20th century was not the cell phone or the internet, it was you, the Negro. You are the only thing walking on this earth, not a bird, not an insect, not a reptile, not a sea-dwelling organism. You are the only thing that breathes and works against its own best interest without even being paid to do it. Wow. That's why the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, we had re-Africanization class. Because we got to snatch the cracker outside. Every black woman in here, you got a white girl in you. Every black man in here, you got a white boy in you. And the sad thing is you raise your kids and you put that cracker in them too. Help. Why is blonde hair the #1 selling hair for black people? Help him. And I'm not knocking none of my sisters if you got blonde in here today. I'm just teaching. We all family. We spend $30 billion a year on hair and beauty products. $30 billion a year. And you want me to think that $30 billion a year has nothing at all to do with the fact that the white man been calling you ugly for 4 centuries. Why does the educated black man marry out of his race more than all men of every other race put together? Money. Validation. Power, money. Validation. You want me to think it's a coincidence that you in love with these white girls? It's because you believe she makes you better. You believe you gotta have a white woman in order to be equal to the white man. You believe in order to raise your self-esteem, you gotta go home to her. And what's so crazy about it, black men are not even allowed to have the best of the white men. You get leftovers. No disrespect to Kanye, but Kim Kardashian is a leftover. No disrespect. You ain't never seen none of these black athletes and entertainers marry a billionaire white girl. You ain't never seen seen them marry an almost billionaire white girl. From the trailer park. Oh, nasty mayonnaise look. He loved it. Help. Oh, dry hands and elbows. And black woman, have you noticed whenever you see a black man with his European queen, he go out of his way not to speak to black women. He gonna act like he don't even see you. To make a white girl feel extra special. I'm gonna put you in re-Africanization therapy. You should know better than that. Brothers and sisters, my black parents, I'm going to give you 10 rules to use for the school. Are y'all ready? You can read this in the book. When you get the book, it's so much more, but I want to give you 10 rules for the parents right now. Rule number 1, don't ever go to a school meeting by yourself anymore. Did every mother and father just hear it? Never go to another public, charter, private, independent school meeting alone. Take somebody with you. Why? Because you need a witness to the conversation. You need a witness to the agreements. The worst thing you can do is show up at a meeting for your son by yourself with 20 white folks in the room. Because if you notice, they always gang up on you. One black mother in Miami, they got the principal, the vice principal, the principal intern, the dean, the students, the reading coach, the math coach, the grade leader, the counselor, the nurse, the psychologist, the homeschool person, the bathroom cleaner, the bus driver, the trash man, the window washer, the basketball coach. For one black mother, 20 crackers. You know why they do that? 2 reasons. Number 1, intimidating you. Number 2, make sure if they lie, they got 19 people who will say it. Listen to me, I work in school. There's something I call academic amnesia. You know what academic amnesia is? That's when the school conveniently forgets what they said to you because it no longer serves their agenda. Y'all follow me? And guess what? I didn't say bring 10 professionals either. Bring 10 corner boys, black mother. I want you walking in with Mike, little John, Ray, 357 Tony. I want you to come in there and tell them white beaters and tattoos must be exposed. And you tell Mike and Ray, listen, y'all not gonna sit, they're gonna offer you a seat, tell them, I'd rather stand. And then I want y'all to walk around and stand in back of the white folks. Stand behind them. I want to hear you better. That's right. And then tell Mike, if these white folks start getting up on me, I want you to hit the table hard one time. Boom. If you do that, won't be no special ed, won't be no Ritalin, won't be no suspension. White folks are scared of black folks who ain't got nothing to lose. And guess what? If you don't know no gangsters, just bring all your girlfriends with you, black woman. Come in there with all of them. Renee, Tamika, Rashida, and have them sit around there when white folks say, oh my God, I didn't know you were bringing so many people. You said, I didn't know you were either. Well, Arby's family, hell yeah, this is family. This is her first godmama, her second godmama, it's her aunt, her great aunt, her play aunt, her after school aunt. She puts the weaves in, she do the nails. I'm dead serious. Take people with you. And I recommend you take 2 people, at least 2.